Hey, and welcome back to Right Hand Drive Guys. I'm Bobby. This is Aaron.
Yo, yo.
And this is episode 36. And today we're going to talk about Kei Vehicles.
Yes.
Yeah, and so I'm sure everybody's been seeing them around, especially the trucks, right?
Yeah, they're super popular because they, make great use of space.
Yeah, and they're super tiny, super efficient.
Yeah.
And, I mean, as long as you have light duty work to do, then, it's probably perfect.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but that's not the only type of, Kei vehicle that there is. And so we figured we'd run it down and have a little show about the different types and, maybe the future of them in the United States and our experience with them in Japan.
Yeah.
So,
sounds sick.
In Japan, they're definitely about them.
Yeah, 100%. In the city and, out in the middle of nowhere, dude. They are everywhere.
I know. We thought we were going to get off the plane and there was just going to be, GTRs and Supras and RX-7s everywhere. No, there was, N boxes and Cappuccinos and, all these different K cars.
Just, not what you would expect. All these little boxy van-type vehicles that... they have very little overhang on the front and back, in front of the wheels. So it's very easy to drive and very easy to maneuver in the tight streets, I guess you could say.
Yeah. And
so it makes sense.
You could tell some of them were driving those things like they were Skylines or Supras. You're like, holy moly.
They were whipping them.
Yeah. And so over there, there's a ton of, we couldn't even probably go through all of the different brand and submodels of the K cars because we'd be like, oh, there's a blah 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 and they were just left and right, all kinds of different ones.
So many of them. That's seems like their main business.
Yeah, I would say it's kind of
kind of wild because that's a complete class of car that we don't even have in the States.
Yeah, we don't even get it.
Right.
Yeah. So but you are starting to see them around and so there is an modification culture to them over there, just like with everything else.
Yeah, people modify everything.
Yeah, there was some that were just dumped down on camber, just crazy for sure.
Yeah. Do you remember we were in traffic going somewhere, surprisingly, and we passed one with a little mini excavator. It was a truck with a little mini excavator in the back of it.
Yes.
It was an excavator. The tracks fit perfectly within it.
Literally.
And
front to back.
Dude. It was stacked in there. And it's holy cow, that's
probably at least
that's a pretty heavy piece of
6,000.
equipment.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? And it's just chilling in the back of this truck. He didn't have to have a trailer or nothing.
The bucket's just resting on the tailgate.
Yeah.
It was okay.
He probably used a bucket to get in there.
You're probably right. So
that blew my mind.
They definitely make use of them. You don't see over there any big trucks.
No.
You don't see any big dump trucks.
You're not seeing any Raptors.
No, or nothing even close to like that. And so, I really admired how they made use of these little tiny vehicles that saved them money, were easier to drive, didn't require special licenses.
Right.
Kind of smart on their behalf as far as the workforce.
Cheaper to register as well.
Oh, yeah.
And also on the tolls, it's way cheaper because that's one of the benefits of it.
Yeah, that's why everybody has them, I'm sure. Because the tolls are not
dude.
Cheap.
Yeah,
holy moly! I don't care what you're driving a unicycle, dude. Them things are still racking up debt, man.
Yeah.
So, and obviously with the 25-year law, they became kind of a popular thing to start bringing over here.
Right. And
you start seeing all kinds of different companies having these trucks, maybe not specifically in our area, but, you see them on Instagram and, on YouTube and stuff.
Sure.
And
because they make sense.
Yeah, they really do.
And then they all kind of look the same too. And they all, I don't know, they all the generations are very long. So it's they never really update them because they didn't need to. It's figured out.
It works.
I'm sure a 96 looks very much like a 2006.
Right, yeah. And it's just because it works, right? Why mess with it?
And it's supposed to be economical. So if they start updating stuff, I'm sure price would go up a bit as well.
2020 still have crank windows on the trucks.
Probably.
But so, they are some are really cool.
Yeah.
So like there are some that, are actually sporty.
Yeah.
Considering how small of motor they have to have. So, do you know what the requirements are to be considered a K car?
Yeah, it's dimensions of the car itself. I don't know specifically those dimensions, but I do know it has to be so small.
Yeah.
It also has to be a 660 cc max.
Dang.
Like,
that's crazy.
Yeah, that's like a small engine. Like,
that's like literally my Razor has a bigger motor than that.
Yeah, for sure. And they have to be 3 cylinders, or I don't know if that's a requirement, but most of them are 3 cylinders, 660 cc. And turbo as well.
They can be turbo, but they can only, so they can be 660 cc's plus the turbo.
Yeah, I guess so. And then they're also limited on speed and things like that.
Are they allowed to go on the highway?
I would imagine, because we saw them all over the place. The speed limit's way lower over there.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like, I don't even think
it was crazy.
I don't even think it's 100 kilometers, is it? Like on the interstates? I don't think it ever was. It was 80, right? In most spots, it was 80.
It was 80, and
which
so
is
that's
like,
just like, all right, are we there yet, dude? Holy moly.
Right, which maybe 55, somewhere like that.
So, that's another thing, though, right? Yeah, they are small. They are, perceived as less safe because of that. But, when you do consider in Japan, they are driving at such a lower speed limit.
Yeah.
Like, it kind of makes up for it, right? Because you're not going as fast. And so the smaller frame and everything isn't as big of a deal. But, you did have a good comparison. Why don't you hit me with it?
Yeah, so, a lot of these places are banning the Kei vehicles in America now, right? Like Georgia's popped up, Maine has been doing it for a long time, Rhode Island, I think Oregon is now doing it. New York is doing it. So there's a huge resistance against these Kei vehicles for the safety.
That's the argument,
right? I would imagine
it's not like the emissions or anything like that.
Right, well, that wouldn't make sense at all because well, one, it's 25 years or older,
right.
So, and also it's a small engine, it's
660 cc.
Emissions are nothing on that thing.
Yeah, it's not diesel.
Right. So, but a lot of things that I'm seeing is for the safety because if you get hit on the interstate or something like that, they get smashed. A lot of these trucks and vans and stuff, you're sitting over the front wheels. So, if you get into a high-speed impact, of course, you're going to be more likely to get hurt or, but whatever. But I was thinking about it earlier, Maine, they don't even have a helmet law for motorcycles. What are they doing even banning Kei vehicles? It should be your own thing, right?
What's the difference?
Right. What's the difference? You should understand the risk of, being in the tiny car. If that's what you're into and that's what you want to do, you should be able to do it.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? No one's making these Harley dudes strap helmets on or nothing like that.
Right. So they're way more exposed. They can get smacked on the highway just as easy.
Yeah, exactly. And, I just thought that was kind of wild and never really thought about that until earlier myself. And I was like, this makes no sense.
How are you going to tell us we can't drive a little car when you can drive a little motorcycle?
Right. You can drive something on two without a helmet, without something as simple as a helmet. I guess they do require eye protection, but
Really? Wow.
I think so. That's one of the things, but
get
they
smacked with a bug.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
Imagine that's your death.
Oh, no. But... So, I think it's crazy that any of these states are outlawing them. It's just probably kind of an overreach, and it's just kind of making it harder for people all around, right?
Right. Because, they're super affordable because they made so many of these things.
Right, yeah, they're everywhere over there, like we said.
Yeah, you can get one in the States. I've seen them pop up for sale, Honda Actis and stuff for $5,000.
Oh, yeah,
easily
for sure.
all day.
You can get them, and they're easy to work on for the most part because they're super simple. Replacement parts, for most of them are obtainable.
Yeah.
So, they're probably a solution for small businesses, I would think, over here to be able to get into certain niches without having to spend the big truck money.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, and maybe that's why they're getting outlawed.
Yeah, I think so.
To try to not get these kind of, it's almost like cheap labor, right? Like having this like $5,000 truck that, replaces like a $35,000 one.
Right, yeah, 100%. Like I could probably replace my truck with a K truck and be totally fine.
Except on the highway, it's like, you're doing 70 and it's like, hey, dude.
I might have to K swap it, but I would still.
That would be cool. Yeah, I mean,
K swap the K truck.
That would be sweet. Just roasting the rear tires on that thing,
dude. Yeah.
Oh man, because you could make that rear wheel drive with the K swap.
Yeah, for sure. Because like most of these cars, they're mid-engine.
Oh,
so everything's in the back already.
Yeah,
so,
that makes sense. So
I mean, I'm not sure the logistics of it and the mounting and all
that. It could be done though.
But I would imagine it could be done fairly easy.
That's pretty cool. So I wonder if that's a big thing with these people swapping in different motors.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder. Because that's one of the things I haven't really looked into. But I've thought about it a few times. I'm like,
yeah, I bet.
That'd be pretty sick.
Yeah, for sure. So what are some of the sporty K cars that, have come out, would you say?
One of the pretty popular ones is the Honda Beat.
Love the Honda Beat.
Dude, yeah.
Love it.
The signature zebra interior.
Yes, yeah, and we saw one at Weekfest, like mint, like super mint, like root beer paint job, like it was like sick.
And it was so small. It was all by itself. There was no cars next to it for whatever reason, and it was just so tiny sitting there and just slammed.
We were towering over it.
And okay, so here's a good comparison for how small K cars are. If you know how big a Mazda Miata is next to a normal car, that thing's tiny, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
Miatas are
things like A
K car makes a Mazda look like, or a Miata look like that.
Right? Yeah, like
it's like that much smaller.
Yeah, and
like, it's
I would
insane.
agree. Like it's kind of it's ridiculous. You feel like you'd be like claustrophobic in one of them things. Like we'd be like shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we probably would be.
But I mean, over here and over there, people definitely modify those things.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they're slamming them. They make a turbo kit for them.
Yeah.
Like, which would be pretty legit. It's like a mini S2000.
Right. Yeah, the Beat, like that would be, that'd be sick, dude. Like top down, just
ripping an autocross course or whatever you are into if you got it, I mean, I think that they're fun cars, and a lot of people had them over there.
Yeah.
Like
you saw them all over the place.
Still, I mean, even though they're a little older, still popular car.
Yeah.
And then of course there's like the new version, like its big brother, the S660.
Dude. Those were cool.
Yeah.
We saw a lot of those around too.
Yeah, those are so sick.
We saw that yellow one in the it was in the parking lot of Autobox, and it was just like, I'm pretty sure it was just completely stock, but it was just like black and yellow and just
so nice.
It looked cool.
Yeah, I mean, like they have like a whole upgraded styling about them that like I really like. Compared to the Beat, I would say that is more of an S car, you know, like the S2000. Like I'd say that's more of the S2000's little brother than the actual Beat.
Right.
They're just so slick.
Yeah.
Dude.
And we saw that other one in traffic with the turbo kit on it.
Yeah,
and,
that's
like
right.
you could hear it.
Like whining.
Yeah. that was sick
cool.
too. Like, so yeah, they definitely love their Hondas over there. Like,
yeah, and they're
even
affordable
the small ones
too,
like that.
right?
Yeah.
You know, and we did see them at a few dealerships, and there was one at the Up Garage dealership. They had one inside, and it's just like cool to see them ripping around like these little just zing.
Yeah.
But there's a few other cool ones, right?
Yeah. If you've seen the one, it's got the gull wing doors. That would be the Mazda AutoZam AZ1.
Oh yeah, with like the round headlight.
Yeah, and it has gull wing door. It's like a supercar, and it's like, I don't know. They try to style it kind of like a Italian supercar, I guess.
Yeah.
But I think we saw one of those roaming around as well.
I think we did too. Yeah, I mean, it was Golden Week, so people were bringing their stuff out. So I think we did see a few things maybe we wouldn't normally.
Right.
Yeah.
Suzuki also had their own version of that as well.
Oh,
It
they
was
did?
pretty much the same thing.
It was like a collab thing? Or they
Yeah,
like bought
something
it
like
or
that.
something?
Which like that happens a lot with like the Kei vehicles. I feel like there's one manufacturer that makes 2 or 3 other makes his K car or
Yeah.
K truck.
And they look somewhat similar, just different headlights. And
Right. Just changing
I
little
noticed
things.
that. Yeah, I was like, what the heck? I was like, oh, no, wait, dang. It's
Yeah.
a whole different, make because they do kind of just use that same frame.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's a Daihatsu.
Daihatsu. It's a Mitsu Daihatsu. Yeah, I mean, so do you think that people get pretty good performance out of these when they go that route of modification? Like, do you think that there's any like super fast K cars because they are so small and light? Do you think that there's any?
Not on the Wangan.
No, not on the Wangan.
But
yeah.
up in the Toge, for sure.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I would imagine, dude, if you have one of those hopped up, and it's like, dude, it'd be like ripping around a go-kart up there.
Right, like on rails, like up on the... Yeah, I guess I could see that because kind of like the driving that we did with Elbow, like if you had a little K car that was like tuned for it. Okay, no, not for me, but I would do something else for sure. The S660 would be super sick, just like his S2000 was obviously dope.
Right. That'd be fun. Like you could probably like floor it the entire way through, and like
just
it would, dude.
Blast.
You'd smile on your face the whole time.
Oh
like,
yeah, and it's just
how could you not?
Because they're all all rear wheel drive?
For the most part, I believe, because most of them are mid-engine.
Like you said.
Yeah.
So
just because of how small they have to be, that's kind of the only place you can put it, and you can really only sit over the front wheels for the most part.
Have you ever seen any K drift cars?
Not that I can think of.
I'm sure
I've seen
somebody's done it.
Yeah.
But
the Cappuccino specifically, I've seen a couple of them, and I think that one is in Initial D as well in a few episodes. But that one is only popular because it has a front engine rear wheel drive layout, and that's like one of the only ones, I believe.
I see. So, not huge so they're pretty much just economy cars. Yeah. Nobody really uses them in any race leagues except for maybe a specific
They probably have
car race
league. Yeah, they probably have like one make races and stuff.
That would probably be fun. Like everybody's got like 660 cc's, like
dude,
like trying to get around the course.
Yeah, dude, that would be a blast.
Yeah, no,
I mean, it would be
sure
like
it would be
go-kart. Well, kind of expensive go-karts. But...
Yeah, no doubt. No bump. Don't be bumping me, dude.
Yeah, seriously.
I know how you are. Yeah, but so I mean, talking about these things, and there are a few different other cool models, that we didn't mention, but over there, like we did mention, is that they'll modify any of these, whether it's a VIP style, like that style look, or if it does, look the race part, like they'll put liveries on these things. Yeah. Like it's kind of crazy, like how the Japanese, they have this like just love for modification, love for customization of their items, to make them theirs. Yeah. That like it doesn't matter what it is,
Right.
And not to get off topic, but even like those family vans and
the Hi-Aces.
Yes, like the baddest vans I've ever seen in my life. Like I never like if you asked me before Japan, like, oh, if you said cool van, I'd be like, yeah, and just kind of like blow you off, like whatever, But now if you say cool van, I'm like, Hi-Ace, like,
exactly.
Grand Touring, or
dude,
whatever
so
it was.
sick.
Yeah. But so that's the thing, they really do take pride in what they have, down to the small little end boxes.
Right.
Yeah. So what do you think as far as these states outlawing or like banning these type of vehicles? Do you think that this is a long-term thing? Do you think that like it's said and done, we just lost them, or?
I don't know. I mean, I think in some states, like I think they won't ever go back. But I know in Maine, there's something in the legislature right now that's on its way to stop the ban on them.
Nice. So I would assume the people were like, we're not cool with this, we as Mainers can use these and utilize them to better our lives, and we already have low speed limits on everything, if that's what you're concerned about.
Right.
And because I could picture whether it's, farms or, different little construction things.
Yeah.
These have a bunch of uses. And so they also did make, that's what's crazy about the Japanese. I love the Japanese. They literally made so many different things out of these Kei vehicles, like the Acties and stuff, just everything you could imagine. Little fire trucks, little cement pumping trucks, little garbage trucks.
Everything, dude.
Everything.
A lot of them have dump beds.
Yes.
Right.
How
sick would that be for a farmer to spend $5,000 on a vehicle that he has a dump bed on?
Right.
How much
around the
else
field,
are you spending? How much else are you spending somewhere else to buy something like that?
Right.
Whether it be a trailer and or whatever it might be. Exactly.
Maintenance is so much more straightforward and easier on these vehicles because they're super simple. You said, they're made to be economic. They were made to be easy. So compared to, let's just say this guy's, 2-ton Mack dump bed, right? That hard to get parts for now. It's huge. He has to have this air jack to lift it. You know what I'm saying? It's probably night and day, and especially where everything's getting harder as far as employees and getting supplies and whatnot. If you can save on this little Kei vehicle, why is the state government telling you not to?
Yeah. And I think in Maine, that's pretty much they're going to listen to the people, I guess. They probably got banned just, looking off paper or whatever, someone not even knowing what they're doing.
Yeah.
They got banned.
They heard it was bad.
And then, it gets brought up, hey, why did this happen? I could have just imagined it's about how it went.
Yeah. And so would you say that if Maine, takes this off, let's say, would it be certain models, do you think, or just all of them?
I would think it'd have to be all of them, just because.
Because I know they had a fit about the Delicia or something.
The van, the Delica van or whatever it's called. Yeah. And I'm not sure what because that wasn't even technically a Kei vehicle.
Right. So how does all this get all mixed in?
Right. And me, for instance, my Skyline was blocked to get registered whenever I first got it.
Right.
As I've mentioned before. I don't know. Maybe they're just seeing the 13-digit VIN.
It's really they don't even know, dude. Because
they don't.
You go to try to get yours registered, they say no.
Yeah.
I go in, try to get mine registered. They're
no problem.
Yes, sir. And so then I've re-registered mine, and now you've registered yours.
Right.
And this is, all in Maine. So in that sense, maybe somebody was like, whoa. You're saying no to the wrong vehicles.
Right.
It's not just anything from Japan. It's these certain ones.
Yeah.
Which I'm still not even sure if they fully know.
Yeah.
Because it probably wasn't even in their realm of thought until somebody complained. Somebody said, hey, these things are way too small to be on the road. Hey, these things aren't safe. And it trickles up, right? So hopefully the right people have now found out, okay, wait, our people can use these, and it would be cool if that kind of the other states followed suit.
Yeah.
Kind of gave it another shot. Right.
And I've heard the same thing happening in Georgia where someone gets their, I forgot what car it was, but it was their JDM car that they've been waiting for. They go down to register it. It's not a Kei vehicle, but they block him for registering. And they don't tell you anything. They're like, sorry.
And you've already signed your title and
and this dude's freaking out because he knows the law. He knows that whole Kei vehicle ban is going through and this and that, but his car is not a Kei car.
Right. His is totally different. His is just certain cars that were made here, potentially could be literally. So, if you are looking for a Kei car, you can find all kinds of, like we said, different models and brands. wherever you look for your JDM cars. But, you really want to do your due diligence to see if there is anything in the legislature in your state to where they are going to get banned. Because just because they're not right now doesn't mean that there's not something, going up the chain that's going to eventually affect you. And now, you got to sell it to a state that hasn't.
Right.
But I wonder if they allow these things. I mean, they can be used off-road. You can purchase it. You just can't title it.
Right.
So it's like, you could use these as farm vehicles.
Yeah.
As long as you weren't taking it down to the grain store to get grain, right? As long as you were just using it in the fields or whatever. So I don't know, how this will really end up.
Right.
I would err on the side of caution purchasing these vehicles until you know exactly your state's stance on it.
Right. And don't say, you're gonna tell them that they're gonna register it at the town office or the DMV or whatever, because they'll just tell you no.
Yeah, no, they don't care. They'll go have coffee afterwards and just it's
Dude,
all
they
good.
don't care.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And they won't look into it anymore.
No, they're not there because you're just another number in the line. So, it's exciting buying like right-hand drive and Japanese cars and everything, and it's easy to kind of get carried away. But if you do your due diligence, you'll be just fine.
Yeah.
So if you were going to have a K car, if you were, whatever, you could get any K car you wanted, what would it be?
Ooh, that's tough. It would probably have to be, I don't know, it'd probably have to be one of the trucks or the S660.
What color S660?
I don't even know. Probably black or
Black's
white.
Cool. Yeah, the white is sick. Yeah. I wonder if they did a S660R. That would be dope.
That would
just
be
like
dope.
a little ripper. I would say the same. I would do, maybe the yellow and do like the Spoon S660.
Dude.
That would be dope. I mean, and yeah, of course, like the trucks are cool. I think the trucks would be really cool for small tasks, even if you just had one of them that like whatever, but it is hard because like you can't fit as much as like even the bed of your truck, right? Like a smaller size truck, you can't necessarily fit as much in a K truck as you can in like a smaller Chevy, right?
Well, I mean, I believe a K truck bed is the same size, if not bigger than my Colorado.
Dang, word. Okay, so like,
Yeah.
shoot. I see.
So I don't know. I mean, the bed sides are a little bit higher, but like, I'm sure you could work
Get
something out with a
slats or
K
whatever,
truck.
yeah.
You could definitely fit a lot in these things. Like 75% of the vehicle, maybe 80% is bed.
Yeah, that's
So,
true.
like-
It's like the
like,
cab
dude,
is so
it's-
small,
it's
you're
pretty
like
crazy.
sitting on blocks. It's weird. So yeah, I mean, I definitely like these K vehicles. Again, like a ton to choose from when it comes to these. Make sure you can find parts for it prior, to buying, just so then you're never like going without, because who knows how long some of these have sat around. It's just like any JDM car.
Right. And these are like kind of bottom of the barrel, I guess you could say, as far as price and stuff goes. So
right. People scoop them up.
Right. And they might not have been taken care of the best in the past as well. So
just beat on. So, if you have any questions, you could definitely shoot us a message. We'll try to assist you in buying your K vehicle as best as we can. As always, you can find us on Instagram at RHDGUIS or RHDGUIS.com. And this was episode 36, all about the K vehicles. Hopefully you enjoy it. I'm Bobby. This is Aaron.
see ya.
Peace.